and welcome to the first episode of Reanimated Redemption, the show where we take a poorly reviewed movie, rewatch it, and tell you if it should be brought back to life or buried forever. And today's subject is the movie that inspired this idea, 1992's Dr. Giggles. So, just first impressions, oh, and this is first episode, so forgive mistakes. I am Jeremy from Scratch and Slash Media, and I am joined by my co-host Cody from Cody's House of Geek.
What's up, guys?
So, first impressions, just what did you think of it?
Um, well, this is like you said. This movie came out in 1992, so the movie does not it does not lend itself any kind of like credibility when it comes to the look of the movie is just so cheesy. I don't know how to explain it. The color palette, the look of it, the acting, everything about it is cheesy. Like I was telling you earlier, it reminded me of going to a video store when I was younger, looking through the horror section and just picking out any horror movie and then it's just uh this movie. This I don't know where to start on this movie. Um the concept of like everyday like fears, like I was telling you earlier, was doctors, dentists, things like that. The concept, great idea. The execution,
So,
yeah.
I I agree. There is it. This is a movie that definitely shows the time it was in. Um, the funny fact about this film is that it was done by Dark Horse Comics. This was their very first movie. And, they would later go on to do The Mask.
Oh yeah, no, that look. I used to be a huge fan of Dark Horses, like IPs and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, it shows.
But the weird thing is you would think they would choose one of their comics for this. Instead,
Yeah,
they chose this horror idea that they were banking to be this big horror franchise for some reason.
they could have probably just made Doctor Giggles a comic book, and it might have been a thing. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
Ugh.
you start this just the opening of this film shows its age because you're doing the whole transition, the computer generated through the body, the blood cells, and I'm just like, oh, am I watching a sci-fi film right now?
That's what it definitely feels like. And to point out, this movie came out like 4 months after I was born, so it even makes even though I was only a baby when this movie came out, I only watched this movie maybe twice in my life. So it makes me feel my age watching this.
The and it, I have a guilty pleasure for it. However,
Mm.
rewatching it, just the opening where he's performing surgery on somebody and he's got all the people around him just watching him do this, and his security's looking for him. Like, so you're telling me he had enough prep time to get this done before y'all realized he was missing? That was the tropes that it relied you on to, like, you have to have disbelief to follow
Just
this.
ignore everything.
I mean, at one point, the warden says, "Yeah, we don't have any ID on this guy. He's just an orphan, a John Doe. Like, he's been there 35 years, and you don't know who he is." That
So the effects are bad, the writing's bad.
yes, and the doctor puns. Every scene
Well,
he's in is a doctor
look,
pun.
we'll get to the ending. That's the one thing we talked about that stood out. God, the puns are terrible. The puns are bad. Ugh.
But it's not like this movie didn't have names in it. Like, you got Holly Combs, who
Yeah.
everyone knows from Charmed, but I'm sorry, I think she did a better acting in this than most episodes she did of Charmed. I
Well,
actually
wasn't
believe
she
her.
before this movie? Wasn't she in some really big movie with Tom Cruise, Born on the Fourth of July or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
That's a really big step down. So she look, that's why I was just like, I had to look at her credentials and stuff like that because I totally forgot that, she was in Born in the Fourth of July. It was like a few years before. When you're lending yourself to working with someone who is as big as Tom Cruise at that time, I feel like it kind of rubs off on you to where you're the only thing that stands out in a crappy movie like this. Because, yeah, she was doing really well for. She shouldn't have been giving her full 100% in this movie. But,
But at the same time, it was supposed to be a horror franchise, so she would have been a new final girl,
yeah.
which I think she could have been a final girl in a horror franchise. She could
I
have
don't
been.
think she has a lot of like she's not given enough credit. They could probably look. They could have probably done something with this if they had someone else handling it. So,
Exactly. And then you had uh, Glenn Quentin from Roseanne,
oh my
and
god, I didn't even know that was him. You just
yeah, from Roseanne, and he did the first season of the Buffy spinoff Angel.
mm,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I hated his character. 100% hated his character. He is such a douche.
he's worse than the main villain.
He is. He's so abusive and controlling. And what I find funny is that okay, we're gonna spoil the crap out of this. And it came out in '92, so there's no excuse not
You
to.
had 33 years to get it over
Yeah.
with.
But in the beginning he's treating her like crap. He cheats on her. Then he saves her life, and we're supposed to believe he's so traumatized he changed and got to keep her. It just really came off like he was jealous of Dr. Giggles. Like, oh no, that's my woman. I control her. And we're kind of just left with that, like, oh, the abusive, controlling boyfriend wins. You didn't really kill the villain. And I
So,
don't. We're just supposed to forgive him for everything.
so this would be like watching that the It miniseries that and when they're adults and Beverly Marsh has that abusive boyfriend and is
Yes,
called by Mike to come to Derry after they kill Pennywise. This would be like her going back to him afterwards.
yes. Like he just comes in the final moment and saves her, and they're together and happy. But no,
A
I
plus
didn't.
writing.
A plus, A plus. And you relied on stupid things like they're trying to actively find him because he escapes a mental institution. And then he does stuff like this. He's not even hiding like Michael Myers. He's just casually strolling the streets, and everyone's just okay with that.
Mm. So he's look. It's like we were talking about what we compared this to. We both agreed that it was similar to like the dentist.
Yes,
um a lot of these characters are written with this cookie cutter idea that they're supposed to be stalker type characters, but like you said, with him being out in the open, uh yeah, no, everything about these specifically these movies is just like, well, first of all, uh if he's so well known from his crimes, why isn't he being pulled out of the streets that he's so open in? Like I am annoyed by plot holes
yes.
and reality checks. So yeah, now he just casually strolling through the streets like that, and it's terrible. I don't know what else to say about this movie other than I did not enjoy it.
Would it surprise you to know that Greg Nicotero did all the effects for this?
No, it would not.
Because you have, like, I like this scene. And this should tell you how over the top this movie is just by this camera angle.
That's hilarious.
Something like this. Now, I will give it, there was one scene I forgot that did get me. When he crawls out of his mother. I understand the plot hole there that kid should not have survived. But at the same time, that was a pretty cool scene.
There's some things going on for this movie. Like you said, like some people took liberties in how different things were back then when it came to horror movies, and a lot of these B movies back then. I remember some of them having good effects, but yeah, that look, there's some things about this movie that I liked, and I was gonna bring up the effects. The kid crawling out of his mother was weird. Um,
Yeah.
but that was interesting watching that.
The and there were certain things that there was one scene that was just so stupid to me, and it didn't even involve Dr. Giggles. It involved the two horny teenagers in the bedroom.
Oh my god.
Did you catch when he was showing her the lingerie and he said, I snagged this from my mother before she went on vacation. I was hoping we could try it out. What did you just say?
Again, the dialogue, the writing, beautiful.
He's going to go in the bathroom and put a condom on beforehand.
He snagged him
That's
from
not
his
how,
mother.
but that's also not how condoms work.
Exactly.
And we have to talk about Dr. Giggles' equipment. The absolute novelty, spirit Halloween looking devices that somehow he was able to build on the fly.
It's like if Jigsaw was a doctor.
Yeah. The oversized blood pressure cuff, the oversized, what is it, that goes in your nostril? Like, everything was just made bigger.
It's ridiculous. It's like every like horror villain needs standout weaponry. Machetes for Jason, a glove with knives on it for Freddy. This guy needs oversized doctor equipment.
That somehow fits all in a Hermione's purse black doctor's bag. That's his weapon. That's like his glove, his hatchet is that one bag.
You know, if they were to continue this franchise and they were to do sequels, somehow I feel like eventually they would explain that he had some sort of like he's from some sort of doctor dimension and he has like a bag that like shrinks down everything and he's like some sort of like interdimensional being.
If you have to go that far to explain it,
You can't disagree that there hasn't been horror franchises that have done that, by the way.
have gone supernatural. Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't hate this film. There is far worse out there. It was, like you said, it was trying to do something. There was an idea here. It's just the way they executed it. I mean, even the way the scenes cut. If you notice, like it fades to black, and there's a millisecond before the next scene, which I was like, is there a commercial break? Was this edited for TV?
That's what it looked like a lot of times. Is this movie does feel like it is like an HBO, like late '90s or early
Yeah,
'90s HBO made for TV movie. So,
but it's not like it was miscast. Like the main guy who plays Dr. Giggles, I mean, we all know him from Darkman, so
yep.
we know he can play a villain. Just he just was so over the top for no reason.
You were talking about his puns and stuff like that. Imagine like the thing is I when I rewatched it, I was just like, there's no way in hell this guy's outdoing Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Freeze with the type of puns he's doing. And he is. And this is 5 years before Batman and Robin, so I always thought that movie had like the worst puns. This one takes the cake.
It's every scene he's in is something. Like if this became a franchise, you would have run out of puns by probably the third movie.
Yeah, no. Start recycling them.
But you're right, the ending, like there's two endings for some reason. You go from the house to the hospital. And when he breaks the fourth wall at the end of it, is there a doctor in the house?
I hated that.
Oh my
I
god.
literally cringed.
Oh my god, it was bad. It was like at least the other puns sort of worked and made sense. Him looking at the camera saying it's like, oh, we're doing Freddy Krueger, aren't we?
This is look, I don't like when movies take tropes like this and take like it's got to be an obvious shove in your face thing. Like it has to be some sort of grounded reality while also being funny. So like let me take a stab at like an actual idea, since this guy's profession is what makes him the antagonist. He's the bad guy. So he's a doctor who is killing people. This would be like my profession if I were to be a killer, like popcorn maker, and I just get killed and I die, and I just sit there and say things are popping now, and it just fades to black. Like it's so stupid. Like nobody write that movie. By the way, I will sue. I'm copywriting it.
You have someone's head under the butter machine. It costs
you
extra.
you better believe it. No, this whole movie, thinking about how like they take some of the weirdest concepts and have made them into movies. This is like his final words, his last words to die. And I'm actually curious, how is he going to come back for a sequel? You said there were going to be franchises.
Yeah, he was signed on. They were all signed on for 3 movies. So exactly what you said. Because when he falls, both of those instruments not only go through the front but come out the back. So his lungs are gone, his heart's penetrated. I mean, we say
Cult
that,
resurrection.
Dr. Giggles, the resurrection.
And you know what? That might have been what it would have been called. You just have like a bunch of like MDs who have their own cult and bring him back to life.
I mean, we sit here and say how, but yet, you know, Rob Zombie's Halloween, he got shot with a Magnum.
Look, the thing is we don't give Rob Zombie credibility, so let's move on. He's already done ruined the monsters. Let's not give him credibility.
I agree. But I'm saying it can be done. We could have had Dr. Giggles in space.
Dr. Giggles meets Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I would watch that.
Actually,
I would watch that.
I kind of would.
That's the only thing that can save it. But is it worth people's time? Should this be brought back to life or buried forever?
Let's talk about how is it like, does it lend itself to an idea that it could be brought back for a remake? Like imagine if they were to do a remake of it. No one's heard of the original, but somehow they do something a little bit more um special effects heavy, and they do it in a way where it seems like it doesn't, like, I guess, distract itself by trying to be as cheesy as the original, but it does something different. Do you think it would work in today's world to actually make it more high, like a more high budget, like a big budget version of it, and lend itself to a new audience? That's what I would ask as far as the question. If it should be brought back, should be brought back as like a more big budgeted version of itself.
I think there is something here that something can be done with it. I mean, a serial killer doctor.
We've
I,
had weirder
yeah,
recently.
I in the right hands, I think if you did bring this movie back, it could be done the way it should be. It could actually be terrifying.
Imagine Damien Leone doing a remake of this. Like
Then yeah,
a I think it would be interesting for them to do something different because like I said, we've had weirder things. There are movies that have come out recently that have become cult phenomenons just because the ideas of them have been ridiculous. Like we're taking Winnie the Pooh and freaking Peter Pan and turning them into horror movies. We've
yeah.
got killer monkeys, monkey toys. The monkey, the one. What is that thing with the little clapper?
Oh, the
Like
monkey.
yeah, like ideas. If you know, like I'm just noticing horror movies are taking liberties and doing things differently, and they're working. So if they were to do Doctor Giggles in a more modern age, and they were directed by competent people, I feel like Dark Horse could sell the rights to like I said, the director of Terrifier, and do things with it. It would be interesting. So I think it could be reanimated if it was done in a whole new modern light. So
And to me, that's how I feel. I think in the right hands, this could be brought back, and there there are things here that could work. That's the most frustrating thing is like you had a good idea and you just lean so heavy into the cheese because by that time Freddy Krueger was already cheesy
yep.
but making money. So they lean too hard into it. If you just tone it back, Terrifier's proven you can do both. You can be corny but scary.
Yeah. And in the realm of reality in this situation, I don't know how often in real life there were doctors who lost their damn minds and were killing people, but I do know, at least in my area, I remember not too long ago there was a doctor who was doing some really messed up things. So the reality of a doctor actually becoming a serial killer or just being a madman isn't too far fetched from reality. So you could probably do that. And like I said, I just had dental work done. I was terrified of dentists. So I, the idea is more grounded in reality as you think it is. Just stop with the humor. Stop with the cheeseball stuff. Like I get in the '90s, that was like kind of the thing because nobody took horror movies seriously. And like you said, every IP did it. Chucky, Elm Street, Halloween. God, I still can't get over. I can't get over karate kicking in Resurrection with
No,
what's his face.
we don't. Resurrection does not exist.
No,
That's like
mm,
the last, to me, that's like the last Die Hard movie. We don't talk about
right. All right, toss that away.
that. It never happened.
Yeah,
But
jeez.
yes, I think we both agree it should be reanimated, that there is something here. Unfortunately, we will probably only have this. So if we only have this, if you just want to giggle, no pun intended, then I would recommend watching it at least one time.
And then never watch it again.
Never watch it again.
Um, yeah, no, I agree. So it would be interesting to see it kind of brought back. Imagine if David Howard Thornton actually played Dr. Giggles and Damien Leone did that movie. Like, I swear, now that I'm thinking about it, I didn't think about this until I brought up Terrifier, but I think that would be interesting.
They would make it work.
I know they will. Damon Leone has like done something that I haven't seen with horror movies, especially with special effects. Not since like what's his face who did all the horror effects back in the like the 80s and 90s. Shoot. Forgot what his name was. Mind blank. But yeah, he's been on like talk shows and stuff like that. But he did like the most realistic horror like gore effects back in the 80s and 90s, and I haven't seen that type of work done with anyone else except for Damien Leone's movies. So
Well, I mean,
it would be interesting.
he is heavily inspired by like Tom Savini, Nick
That's who I'm thinking of.
Farrow.
Yeah, Tom
Yeah,
Savini.
I would. Yes,
Yeah.
he is definitely this generation's Tom Savini.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Time to bring back the weird horror concepts with just Damien Leone taking over on the special effects.
Just give him all the projects. He
Yeah.
can do it.
Yep. And even if you can't lift them off the ground for theatrical releases, make them Netflix exclusives. I mean, geez, sometimes those movies do well.
All right, guys. I think we have said everything that we can about this film. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, the whole trope, and leave in the comments what movie you think we should do next, and maybe you'll see it on here. Cody, where can they find you?
You guys can find me over at Cody's House of Geek on YouTube. I'm just talk about everything nerdy, geeky, and just if you see my background, you're just gonna be able to see what my channel is.
And don't forget about your Facebook page.
Oh yeah, and my '90s page, growing up in the '90s. It's just literally talking about '90s nostalgia. So you guys can follow me there on Facebook as well.
All right, guys. With all that being said, we'll catch you on the next one. Until then, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.